there is not one person in this world who is not affected by climate change. Still today in Somalia, there is a state emergency where is leaving thousands of people to flee their homes due to severe floods. According to PVS Kite, the flooding has forced an estimate of 250,000 people out of their homes. That's around 90% of Beledweyne's population. That's a lot of people considering almost 100% of the people leaving is just um Hakima Maharid, a mother of 4 children, is just one of the 250,000 people who are suffering during the flood. She desperately tries finding new shelter for her and her children to safely live, to safely eat, and to safely just survive in general. She recently left her home to Beledweyne, running from terrorists, just for her home to be destroyed once again by these horrific changes to the weather due to climate change. Thinking she found a better shelter, she went to a little area that helps others in need, just for the weather to come in and struck the little tent she has for her and her children to survive. Now, according to ACES International and Bloomberg, an estimate of 3.3 billion people are at risk of climate change. Between the years 2000 and 2009, 9.4% of deaths have been reported just due to climate change. With around 800 billion people or 8 billion people on Earth, 3.3 billion people is a huge percentage of it. And that's only for the people who are at risk, not to the people who are actually affected by it already, meaning this percentage could be way higher than it already is. Climate change is becoming more and more unpredictable. With these destructive cases, it can happen to anyone and anywhere, including you. So, with that, today we are going to be discussing why Congress must mandate the use of solar energy in all government buildings. We have a serious problem: climate change. As greenhouses operate, they trap sun's heat. This heats up the atmosphere and raises the planet's average temperature. And you may be like, how does this work? How is this causing climate change? Well, this works by when the greenhouses produce, they produce a lot of smoke, a lot of heat, and a lot of radiation. And that all traps down into the Earth's atmosphere or the Earth's core, leaving no cool air to in or for it to not to exit the Earth's atmosphere into space. So it stays down on Earth, heating up what little area we have left. So it's sort of like a kind of like a cozy warm blanket, but instead of you being able to just rip the blanket off when you get hot, it stays trapped inside. This causes Earth to have unpredictable weather changes. And since fossil fuels are usually burned, it usually releases carbon dioxide, which can be very harmful to humans and cause Earth to also heat up. If it wasn't for the trees we have on this Earth right now, we probably would be polluted with carbon dioxide, killing every living thing on this planet. That includes plants, animals, humans, and if there's anything else out there, just anything in general. This is literally another reason why, or another core reason why climate change is happening. As we keep cutting down these trees and our forests, we have less trees to absorb the carbon in the air, making the air more heavy and more polluted, causing us to breathe already heavier or causing our animals or our plants to die quicker. And this is heating up our planet even more than already is. Now, as I already explained, we know this is a huge problem. But did you ever think about the devastating effects climate change can have on us and everyone around us? There are 3 significant causes and from climate change. There's floods or droughts, decline of organic matter, and respiratory risk. Let me explain why these are a little bit more tragic to us and why we need them to survive. So floods and droughts, obviously you understand why those are a horrible cause. The weather's changing more, it's more unpredictable, and this raises the seawater or the sea level, it increases snow melts and snow surges. These all are factors of risk of flood. And with the weather being so unpredictable, we also have heat waves drying up all our water sources, causing droughts in certain areas. This puts a limit to our water supply, which is very vital for us as humans or as animals or even as plants to stay alive and stay hydrated. Now, according to Illinois EDU, the decline of organic matter may be a significant problem for agricultural fertility. With temperature changing, the increased activities of microbes and bugs, such as worms or insects, or just little microbes that go underground to help our soil produce is causing an increase for them to need for them to eat our soil and the matter inside of it, which releases a lot of carbon as they go. And with our trees slowly getting cut down, this is very harmful to human lungs. This also stops the organic matter's way to help with water absorption and causes fungi and other bacteria to infect the soils. This is a huge problem as organic matter is an important part of agriculture, which provides nutrients for plant production. And that's how we usually get our fruits, our vegetables, or any other fruits and vegetables that are sold in stores that we need to survive. Now, according to American Lung Association, respiratory risks are a huge factor with climate change. Plants produce more and more pollen due to weather, and since the weather is very unpredictable and changing during climate change, people with allergies or asthma are suffering even more due to the pollen growing more and more and more. And with wildfires, they're also a huge respiratory risk as the smoke from the fire slowly fills our lungs, slowly dehydrating it over time, inducing our risk for breathing problems. And since climate change also produces a lot of air pollution, increasing the normal levels of ozone, this is dangerous because ozones are usually here at like a certain like level that you need to stay to be healthy. But as it keeps going up and up, it can be harmful to us because the regular level of ozones is being surpassed. Now, as you know, these effects are very, very devastating to us and everyone around us. So let's discuss how we can slowly, I say, help with climate change. So let's discuss the solutions we can use. There is obviously some clear solutions, and one of them is Congress must mandate the use of solar energy in all government buildings. And you might be wondering why solar is going to do anything. Well, solar doesn't produce any gas, any fossil fuels or anything. So it does not produce any harmful chemicals, harmful radiation or carbon. This is a natural way for us to get energy. So what we can do is we can convert greenhouses into solar powered energy as an alternative to fossil fuels. Since solar panels absorb the sun's energy from the heat it provides and stores the energy for later use, this provides no fossil fuels or gases, and this is a natural way for us to get energy. Meaning, if they were to convert, we would have less greenhouses trapping into the Earth's atmosphere. And you must be wondering, how is this going to work? Well, since solar converts sun energy into DC power, which is used to power battery-operated electronics without creating fossil fuels. And most of everything we have now is battery operated. So for example, let's say our phones, we use them every single day and they are battery operated, meaning everything on Earth is battery operated. You use it for directions or for phone calls. We still use it either way. If we were to switch to solar, we would still be able to use our everyday items that we use now, but we just cause less damage to the ecosystem. Since fossil fuels are creating a lot of carbon and pollute our air, causing drastic changes to our planet, such as water pollution or damaging our oxygen levels, with solar panels, we'd be able to create the same energy produced by fossil fuels, but create less damage to our planet. So now that we've discussed, today we learned why it's crucial for Congress to mandate the use of solar energy in all government buildings. We looked at the problem, we looked at the effects, we looked at the solution. According to ACES International and Bloomberg, an estimate of 3.3 billion people are at risk of climate change. And that's 9.4% of deaths that were caused by climate change. And some of these weren't even reported. So that's just an estimate of how many deaths happened because of climate change. And since it's so unpredictable, it can change you and affect you randomly when you least expect it. The people in Somalia are one of the survivors of climate change. They are still struggling with this flood now, losing all their homes. Take Mohammed Mahari